Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So once an Android app walked into a bar. The bartender asked him, "Can I get you a drink?" The Android app says, "That wasn't my intent though." So here are we with the first video tutorial of ours that talks about intents and splash screen. The entire tutorial is divided into two parts. The first part is more about splash screen and the part 2 is about intent. Let's get started, guys.
Channel Android Made Easy. Here are we. So our today's main concept will be covering two topics. That is something called splash screen and something called the use of concept called intents. Now what is splash screen? Splash screen is a screen that you ideally see when you launch an app. You click on the app after you install it. An app logo appears on the screen on a white background for 3 to 5 seconds, and then you navigate to your main app page or the home page. And intent is something called navigating from one screen to the other screen. So in first video we saw only one screen. Today we'll see multiple activities as well. So so just to comment it out. So we'll see three concepts today. I did such two concepts, intents and splash screen. So to start with, to just keep one small image for a splash screen and app logo sign kind of thing, I've added something called from my in my drawable folder. You can just add from your copy paste from your folder. I just copied here and I've pasted in the drawable folder. Now we'll make a new activity. By new activity I mean it makes a Java class and a XML file along with it. So it's an empty activity. A pop-up will come. So activity name I've put splash screen. Try to put the name of the class that is related to the concept that you want to do, that you want to code with it. So let's just put enter. It will make a new activity. As I said, activity is being built with it. A XML file is also being made. Now it's showing a red error because something process has been building internal process. I said what is Gradle? It does building your entire project. So let it build. Has been built. So first step is here. I'll define the time for how much seconds my splash image, the app logo should be seen, and then navigate to the other activity. So here I make it public final integer because it's an integer value. I've named the variable as timer and I keep it 3000. Here it is something in milliseconds, which stands for 3 seconds. Now the major part, I'll make a nested class. Okay, so here the concept will be of nested class. I make a class, I call it display. Now the first important concept here is I'm extending a class. This is a concept of inheritance, and I'm sure you guys will know this. Something called async task. Now we'll come to this. Now what is async task? Async task is an abstract class of Android which stands for asynchronous task. This is a class for actually handling the background processes and short-term operations of thread and integrating this into a user interface. If you won't understand this, we'll get slowly to this. Now it gives an error. Now when if you hover around this error, just go with your cursor and a left mouse click. It shows implement methods. So we'll implement some methods of this. So as I said, it is used to handle the background processes. It's for thread user interface. We'll implement this do in background. Here are we. Class, if you have to use it, you have to subclass it, and the subclass implements some methods. That it was giving error initially because it requires at least one method to be implemented, and that was this do in background, which is responsible for entire background process. So now what do we need in this background process? We need a screen logo to be shown for three seconds, and then result will be navigate to the other screen. So first step is I'll just put my code inside this try catch method to avoid any errors, catch errors. So here thread dot sleep. Now what is done? We'll define the variable that we defined above, timer, that was 3000. So 3 seconds it will be visible, and then it will what we have to do next after this we'll see. It is showing error because it is an unhandled exception. It is unhandled. So after this try we'll add a catch block, exception ex. Again except ex is just the name of the exception. Print status will print the error that is coming. So here, what did we do? We just defined one line code that was only imported. That was thread.sleep_timer. Now the second method of this subclass is just press Ctrl plus O. You will get something called onPostExecute. So background process is done. What we have to do? We have to make it visible for 3 seconds. Now after the background result, we need something called result. What is the result of it? Now here we'll define the result. After 3 seconds, what is the need? We need to navigate it from one screen to other screen. Now the concept of intent comes here. So intent is something, a class